Hey, Flooring Bros. All right, it's Jerry Levinson here, and we want to go over the 5 ways for you to increase your closing rate and apply the 50-40 rule. So, what's the 50-40 rule? Really think you should be closing at about a 50% rate. You see, most good companies are closing at a 50% rate. Some of the outperformers are closing higher, but a lot of people are closing lower than that. So, we want to try and get up to at least that 50% closing rate. And really want to establish that because what that means is half the time you're not going to get the job. So if you follow all these processes down, you're raising your prices, you're trying to close in the home, you're doing all the things the right way, there's still half the time people aren't going to go with you. And we think 20% of the time they're not going to go with anybody. They're just not going to do anything. But so that's your 50% closing rate. Um, so don't get too caught up on the 50%. Look, we always want to try and do better, but don't get so hung up on the 50% because you're not going to get them all. Now, the 40% is the 40% profit. Um, you should be operating at a 40% plus profit margin on carpet. You can easily get a 45% profit margin on hard surface. You're right there at 40%. Tile, I think you can get a 50% profit margin on tile, especially on the installation part. So use that as a good guideline to help you as you go forward. All right, so we got the Top Gun 6-month program for you, and then coming soon is another program I'll be introducing called Maverick. So number one, again, there's 5 reasons, 5 ways that's going to make it easier for you to close the home. So one is make it easy to give your customers a price. You can bundle your services together. Anytime you're giving prices on carpet, that should include the tear out, the installation, even furniture moving, and a carpet pad upgrade. Make it easy for your customers to make a buying decision. For luxury vinyl slash laminate, that should include the labor should include baseboard, trim. We all have to do something. You're going to either pull up that baseboard and trim and put it back, or you're going to put a quarter round in shoe molding. You have to do something when you're installing these products. So build that cost into your installation cost. Don't make it an additional line item cost. And then build in the cost to tear out carpet. Now, you're going to have some additional costs when it comes to hard surface tear out, especially tile and hardwood flooring that's glued down. So that's going to include some additional costs. But you're not doing that near as frequently as you're tearing out carpet to put in luxury vinyl or laminate. So it's easier to figure out a price. We just got to make things easier where we can. Don't worry about all the little outliers. There's going to always be circumstances that you got to overcome. Uh, this should include some floor prep too. So we find about a dime or 20 cents a square foot as additional floor prep usually covers some grinding, some leveling, self-leveling. Stairs should be thought through. And again, there's a difference between floor prep and floor repair. So you should make that clear to your customers. Think about your stairs. Think it through. On carpet, it takes about 10 to 12 feet. Okay. Carpet on average is 15 steps from the first floor to the second floor. There's no reason that you should be figuring out what each step will take and even counting steps. On hard surface, you should be prepared. So when the material is X amount wide and what's the price per step? So it is as simple as counting the step and multiplying by 125. The price per step can include the material and the labor. And then all you need to know internally is how much material you need to do it. But if you take the time, sit down, get on your whiteboard and do some math, you can figure out easy ways to overcome some of the variables. And that's what we're trying to do. We're not trying to be so accurate on the pricing. It really doesn't matter. The funny thing is a lot of people take the time to be accurate in an industry with no standards. There's no standards for the markups, the margins, what the wholesale cost, what the labor cost is. It's all over the board in each state, all across the country, all across the world now. I'm working in Australia, so things are dramatically different. But there's no standards. So what are you trying to be accurate for? There's nothing to measure it against. The price is the price. So just as long as you're hitting your margins, you're good. It should be as easy as liking this video and subscribing to my YouTube channel. Okay. If you do like this video, hit like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. You'll get more great videos like this one. So give her an opportunity to buy now. Give her the price in the home. This is when she is the most excited, that you're looking at this project. I mean, there's nothing that kills it more than walking away without giving them a price. There's a lot of people that will go ahead and close in the home. Not only that, if you give them a price in the home, there's a lot of people that aren't going to buy from you, but they're getting other estimates and the other people aren't going to give them a price. They'll be frustrated that those other people, they want to get it going. And if they're waiting a day, 2 days, 3 days, and they haven't gotten back, I got a quote from somebody in the home to do a backsplash. And as he's doing the work, the other guy calls us back to give us his price. Dude, doesn't matter if your price is less or you do better work or any of that. None of that matters. We're getting the job done. We didn't call you for a price. We called you to get something done. And that's a mistake that we make, is that we're trying to give accurate prices and we want to make sure we got everything right before we give them the information. And the customer wants to get going on the project. So you need to give people an opportunity to buy now. It's not about high pressure sales. So you don't need to be a bully. You don't need to do high pressure sales. But look, there is no reason why an empire can go out and give a price in the home and you can't. I'm talking to a lot of you guys that have been in the business 15, 20 years, and you still haven't figured out how to quickly give a price. And I'll tell you one of the reasons that you don't do it is because you're afraid. You're afraid to sell. You feel guilty about selling to customers. And there's a lot of people in that position that almost feel guilty about selling. They feel guilty about taking somebody's money. And you should never feel that way. You're providing an awesome product or service. You should feel good. Not only should you not feel guilty, you have an obligation to close that job as hard as possible. You should feel guilty for letting them go with somebody else, especially letting them go with an empire. You should feel guilty about not doing the work, because knowing if they do you, if they work with your company, they will probably get better results than working with somebody else. You should believe that. You should know that. And therefore, you have an obligation to close the job as hard as possible. So improve or create. Nobody has a sales presentation. We create one for all of our clients, but create a great sales presentation. Take what you do that's ordinary and make it extraordinary. For example, we tell them that we're going to tear out their carpet. This is our carpet presentation. We're going to tear it out. We'll sweep the floors, inspect the tack strips, make sure everything's good, and then we'll throw away your carpet. We're not going to just leave it on the sidewalk. Well, that kind of gives them the impression that other people might leave it on the sidewalk, but it also gives them a peace of mind. Answers the question. We take it for granted that people know what the process is. This lays out the process. Now, maybe they don't understand it. Maybe they don't remember that. And this flyer is for them. But what it does is it gives them confidence that, okay, I can see by this flyer, you guys got your shit together and you're going to do a good job. So I trust you more. I like you more. I'm more confident that you're going to do a better job. I'm willing to pay you more money to do the job than somebody that gave me a quote. And I'm not taking it for granted that everybody does everything the same way because of your sales presentation. And I've talked to a lot of you guys that do something a little different. You go above and beyond in some ways, but your sales presentation doesn't reflect that. So you're taking it for granted that customers know the difference or trust that you're better quality because you said so. And you've got to understand that your competition is going in there and they're not saying, our prices are a lot better. We don't do as good of a job, and we're not very reliable, but our prices are much better. They're not going in there acting incompetent and saying those things. But, a lot of guys pound their chest and say, we do quality work. I've been around for a long time. Well, so is your competition saying that stuff. So you want to close more sales for a higher dollar amount? you got to step up your game, and that comes to your sales presentation. It doesn't come down to doing the work better, because doing the work better, you only have that opportunity after they give you the job. So anybody that they hire, they expect them to do a good job. So you can't show that to somebody until after they hire you. So it's on us to create a sales presentation that reflects the work that we're doing. And then make them worried about what might happen if they don't use you. Again, we're going to tear out the carpet, we're going to throw it away, we're not going to leave it on the sidewalk. Now, I'm not saying the competition does that, but I'm putting that impression in their head. Things like offering a lifetime guarantee. We don't, the standard is 1 or 2 year warranty. We give you a lifetime guarantee on the installation. So again, if you can do things that are extraordinary, put it out there in a way that your competition can't and is not doing it. Love this advice. Got this a long time ago and it's solid. Take the water, let them do something for you. If they offer you something, or if they don't offer you something, ask. Ask them for a water. But if they offer you something, take it, drink it. It's okay if it's alcohol, if you drink the alcohol. It's okay if it's coffee, if you drink the coffee. It's okay to say, I don't drink coffee, can I have some water? Which is, I don't drink coffee, so I always ask for water. But you allow them to do something for you. If they offer you directions, don't say, I have Google Maps. This is a chance for you to build rapport. Let them give you directions. Let them tell you what gate you have to go through and what gate code it is, and what tree that you have to take a right on, or whatever markers there are. Especially, older folks, they like to do this. They like to talk. They like to give you directions. Let them help you out. It'll make them like you more if you take their directions, if you take the water. If they offer you cookies, take it. I had a customer one time offered me some cookies. I love chocolate chip cookies. So I said, hell yeah, I'll take the cookies. And she says, okay, I'm going to go with him. And the husband said, well, wait, you got 2 more estimates coming. She says, I don't care. He likes my cookies. I'm going with him. So it didn't even matter that I hadn't even eaten her cookies. I hadn't tried them. I wasn't sure if I was going to like them. So I wrapped them up, put them in the car, took them with me. They were delicious. But I got the order because I took something from them, not give them something. So it really does help if you let people offer you something. If you take it, they like you more. You want to get into an environment where you're with a friend. When you're with a friend, you're with a family member, you're relaxed, you're having a good time. And yes, you're drinking water or having a beer or having a glass of wine. I've been offered alcohol before, and nothing wrong with it. If you don't have a problem with it, then take it and enjoy it with that customer. I've also said about politics and religion, it's fair game. If you go into somebody's house, and this is a little sidebar advice, but if you go into somebody's house and they're watching Fox News, you know that they probably support Trump, or if you see they have Trump flags. If you support Trump too, don't lie and make something up. But if you have the same belief system as they do, it's okay to talk about it. It's free game. Don't pretend like you're something you're not. But if you guys have something that you relate on, whether it's religion or politics, that gives you the edge. Our goal is we want them to do business with us when it doesn't have to do with product, price, or service. I want them to do business with us because they liked us. We had a lot of people did business with us because we were a small family-owned business, no one over 5'6". What I'm trying to do in this environment is when people are getting multiple quotes, we got to ask ourselves, how can we get them down to only one quote, only us? Usually there's just something they like about you better, and they feel comfortable and they want to go with it. So they're not going to go from store to store and shop around and look based on price, because they like you and they trust you, and they want to get this done, and you seem to understand them and know where they're coming from and what they would like. So they want to go with you. So I got this quote the other day. I had an 80% closing rate. This is a client of mine, Billy Indiana Kraus. That's amazing. I don't expect anybody to hit an 80% closing rate. He had a fantastic month. He was on fire. And uh, probably the biggest switch that he made was we made it easy to give an estimate and got a really good, clear understanding that, he's been doing this a really long time. And it started to be frustrating because he was giving people quotes and he's an expert. He's really, really good and really smart when it comes to wood flooring. But, and people didn't value it because the presentation didn't reflect that. So we had to create the presentation. And then one of the things is have fun, man. You gotta have fun at your job. You gotta enjoy the customers. Don't be in a hurry to give them go there, give them an estimate, and get the hell out of there. Relax, enjoy them. The sales is the most important thing because without the sale, you don't have a customer, right? So relax, enjoy yourself, and have fun. Look, if you're just there to take their order and say, do you like this? Do you like that? Do you like this? And you're not making recommendations, you're not decorating, man, go get a job at Home Depot. They need cashiers and you could be an order taker there. But if you want to have fun at your job, you want to decorate, you want to help your customers out, then do that. Don't be afraid about decorating. Don't be afraid that they're not going to like it. That just doesn't happen. Once in a while that might happen. If you didn't help them at all and they don't like it, they're still going to blame you anyway. So you might as well help them out and let them have fun. One of the tricks I use in this in decorating is asking the customers, let's play the if this was my house game. So I like to play the if this was my house game because I can tell them this is what I would do if I lived here. This is what I would do with this furnishing, this color of wall, this is how I would decorate my house if I lived here. Now, if they don't like it, they're a lot more comfortable to say no, and it really helps them. Even if they don't like it, it helps them move in a direction that they're going to like better. So don't be afraid to give them advice and play the if this was my house game and help them decorate their home. It's like kind of like when you go to a restaurant and you ask the waitress who doesn't like the same food you like what they recommend. So you're going to ask a stranger with completely different tastes what kind of food they recommend. And it's the same way here. Customers want to know what you think. They want to know what you would recommend. All right, so guys, if you need help with your business and you want to accelerate things, go to jerrylevinson.com, sign up for a free one-on-one discovery call, and we'll get better results with your marketing. I'm going to help you increase your prices and profits, help you improve your sales performance. I'll help you with hiring. We've got a whole program set out to how to hire a top salesperson, what to pay them. I can show you how to create a great culture and have really good salespeople who are successful that are working for you. And let's get your flooring business to take off. Either the Top Gun program, that's our 6-month program, or the Maverick program, which is a do-it-yourself program, all online. So it's time for you guys to profit now in the flooring industry.